Alright, Abhipsa. Would you rather have a large group of acquaintances as your friends or a small group of extremely close friends?
A large group of acquaintances, of course.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it just be better to have friends from all over the world with different vibes? And there's just so many people you can rely on.
But when you have a small group of extremely close friends, you can rely on them even more. They're always there for you through thick and thin.
But let's say one of my friends is really busy. They have a competition coming up. Who else do I go to if it's an emergency?
So you share everything with a person you don't even know that well?
Well,
Isn't this relatable? This is how different perspectives work.
and that is exactly what we will be discussing in today's podcast. Expressing our views, especially when they're different from the others.
For example, when we write exams, we all write different answers, but there's a universal answer we all have to follow.
And let us just consider some of the most basic aspects of our everyday life. For example, our favorite ice cream flavor. Just like how I like Belgian chocolate.
And I like mint choco chip.
See the difference? Okay, so let's start with something which I have already faced. I remember once in 10th grade, we had a very interactive teacher who took our English lessons. And she always had this habit that before starting a chapter, she would give a very generic question and she'd ask a few people to express their views about it.
Right.
So I remember this one time, she, as usual, asked the question, and I was chosen as one of the people who had to give an answer. And I remember back in 10th grade, I was sort of shy because I almost knew no one in my class.
Right.
And I remember shaking while giving the answer because I was just too afraid of what others were going to think of me. What if she thinks that, what kind of a basic answer is it? What if someone thinks this is not even related to the topic? Why is she even mentioning this? And I just didn't want to be too full of myself and didn't want people to judge me for what I was answering. And that's what I feel a lot of people experience, that they always fear getting judged even by their own peers.
Yeah. Just like you gave this example that happened in your class, and this is something that everyone has faced. When we choose our streams, that is something that we are doing right now. And someone wants to choose, let's say, not science. Someone wants to choose commerce. Oh my God, the drama that happens in the family. How can you choose commerce when you have science as your option? Mama, I want to do humanities. I want to focus on news anchoring. I want to do law. No, you have science. Choose science. And the thing is, we are so scared to say that to our parents when we don't want to choose science or whatever they want us to choose. And it's so scary for us to tell that to our friends as well. Let's say majority of your friends are choosing one particular stream and then you are the only one who wants to choose something different. How do you say it? How do you tell them that, guys, I'm actually not choosing the stream that you are choosing?
I know, it just feels like being an outsider even though you're an insider.
Exactly.
And let's say even in science, if you take PCM, you're an engineer.
Exactly.
If you take PCB, you're a doctor.
It's like there are no other job options other than engineer and doctor.
Exactly, and there's already this preconceived notion in the Indian society that the child has to either be an engineer or a doctor.
Exactly. And no matter how much the society changes, how much we may say that the society is changing, the thing is, it's not. Because we still have this problem, we still think about this. This thought wouldn't be there with us if this wasn't a problem right now.
Absolutely, and I feel that some people are just forced into taking science just because they don't have the guts to speak up for themselves.
Exactly.
And they're always scared, even to get judged by their own parents.
Definitely. Parents, teachers, relatives, friends, there are so many people who affect our decisions in day-to-day lives.
Absolutely. And I feel in this era especially, where everybody is on social media.
Exactly.
Let it be any platform, WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, anything. We are exposed to so many different views, so many different agendas. There are millions and billions of accounts on such social media
Exactly.
platforms, and every influencer has their own view, their own point about something. See, one might agree with a point, one might disagree with the same.
Exactly. Just for example, like when we talk about feminism, there are so many influencers on the internet who are talking about feminism, standing up for feminism. But at the same time, some might take that notion into being an extremist about the whole thing. And then some might then think that, okay, everything that is being spoken about is now against men. But then that's the thing. We are not trying to do that. But then there are so many views that are affecting whatever we stand up for.
Absolutely. And there are just so many misconceptions about a lot of things that we talk about. And it's majorly because we are not completely expressing what we feel. We are just cutting out bits and parts, thinking, yeah, let me just say this part, I won't get judged for it, and it's very generic. But what's sometimes the most important parts are being cut out only because of the fear that, someone's going to judge.
Exactly. And this really affects our confidence to some extent as well.
Absolutely.
Let's take a very really simple example when it comes to us being students. When we are participating in competitions, when we are participating in, let's say, a cultural performance like dance, singing, let's say debate, and if we haven't done it before, there are so many people who already think, oh, they're not good at it, they're just doing it for the sake of doing it. Oh, she can't sing, what are you talking about? Oh, that debate, she doesn't speak well, how will she debate? So then your confidence is then, like, you lack confidence at that time, and then you think, oh, people think I can't do it, that means probably they're right, I can't do it. And then we try to judge ourselves, which is the major issue.
Absolutely. And sometimes it just stops us from pursuing our passion, I feel.
Exactly.
And maybe let's say it's not our passion as well. We have a lot of, let's say I have a lot of friends who are into debating. They always go out for competitions and everything. And being their friend, being their well-wisher, I've always wished the best for them. But now even I want to join them in it. So let's say I tell my best friend, for example, listen, I want to be a part of your debate team.
Yeah.
Do you think I can talk to some teacher, or how can I be selected for it? And she just casually gives me a remark. Wait, you want to join debating?
Exactly.
It's not for just people who are passionate about speaking. You have to have real talent for debating. And that just completely lowers your morale. And even when you want to, try something new, expand your interests, you just limit yourself to something. Let's say I'm good at academics, I'll just limit myself to academics.
Exactly. And when a person is good at a lot of cultural things, either they're an all-rounder who is lacking studies, or they're just, not good at the basic societal norms, like, being good at maths, being good at science. The basic things that society expects us to do kind of limits us from doing what we want to do, which, again comes to our topic, which is different perspectives and different opinions. And the thing is, all these different opinions and all these different perspectives really affects a person and their confidence, their personality as a whole. And they might be really good at something, they might have the guts to do so many things, but then they can't do it because there are those opinions, there are those voices in our head which goes on and on. You can't do it, stop doing it, you're not good at it, and it just overpowers us at the end of the day.
Okay, so now that we have discussed what are the problems that people usually face, now let's discuss about how we as individuals or communities can help them out to just develop their self-confidence in general. And what I feel is most important is just hearing people out without complaining.
Listening is so important. People think, expressing can only happen if we are good listeners.
Exactly. Like, the world is filled with speakers. Like, let's be honest, everyone, is facing problems in their own lives. Everyone has stuff that they're dealing with. But not everybody is a good listener. Of course, people want to vent out.
Yeah.
Maybe they can vent out to their parents, their best friend, their teachers, even if, the teachers are, friendly and they're, willing to listen. But not everybody has the privilege of, getting a good listener in their life. And that's what, I feel builds up all that anger, the frustration. It just keeps building up on them. And that's how their self-confidence, their esteem, it's all just lowered.
And you know what we can do so that the person we are venting out to can also be heard at times is just listen. See, it is such a simple thing, listening. Just doing nothing but just to empathize and listen to a person. But yet it's so hard because everyone has so many things they want to share, which is completely understandable. But at the same time, we need to understand that the person we are sharing stuff with also needs someone who they can share something with. So listening is the first thing that we all need to think about when it comes to the solutions of when it comes to lack of confidence and everything. How can you help? How can you make a difference? Just listen.
Exactly, and I feel for that one of the most important things is trust building. Because you
Definitely.
can only share the most intimate stuff that has happened to you with someone who you completely trust that, this person won't judge me first. Second, if I tell them, let's just keep it between the both of us, let's not tell it to the world. You need to have that trust that, okay, they're not going to betray me. They're just going to keep it within themselves. So I feel that trust building between parents and their children, between friends in general, between any two individuals, it is very important.
And in a general way, let's forget about family and friends. Let's say acquaintances. Let's say people we know, we meet in day-to-day lives of ours. What is really important is that what we can do for people whom we are not even close to is give them a comfort space. If they want to try out something, let's motivate them. Let's support them. Supporting someone is so important because then only they will have that confidence. Not everyone has the confidence to go and speak up for themselves. What we can do is give them that comfort space. Tell them that we are there for you. Even you don't have to be very close to them to do that. We don't have to be best friends to help each other out. But helping someone, supporting someone sometimes can be the bare minimum of what you can do.
Absolutely. And I feel it's very important to, encourage people to speak their mind out. Because sometimes unknowingly, even we don't even realize it. My friend might be a good listener, but that doesn't mean that they aren't going through stuff in their own lives. And, sometimes even unknowingly, we just keep on speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking without even listening to if the other person wants to just say something in general, they want to give us some advice. But I think it's important that as much as I speak, I let the other person speak as well.
Definitely. And one more very important thing is to have compassion. Because you need to understand that there are going to be different opinions. That understanding thing needs to be there. That compassion, that, honestly, the word kindness is the word that comes to me first. You need to be kind to each other. Exactly. Okay, you need to understand that, okay, my best friend might have a different point of view than me. They might like to do that and I might like to do this. They might think that they're better at this, but we can work it out. We can talk it out. But the thing is, people just, start judging and they don't try to talk it out. They don't try to support. We all can be good at the same thing. We all can together work to do the same thing. We all together can build each other up. Okay, set the staircase for each other. Okay, give the ladder to each other, and we all can then together go up the ladder. Why is it that I have to go first? And why is it that if I'm going first, I can't pull the person with me? Why is it that you have to push a person? You shouldn't do that, right?
Of course. And also, as an individual, I think it's very important for each one of us to do something every single day that develops our own self-confidence.
Exactly.
Because, come on, self-confidence is something people can motivate you, they can encourage you.
Yeah.
But confidence is something that you have to build by yourself. No one can, put the confidence within you. It's not like a powder or, a shake that you're going to drink it and you're going to be confident, right? So you have to do everything. You have to do something every single day that is going to make you a confident person. And, sometimes you just have to be daring enough to speak your mind out.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need to have that attitude within you. I don't care what the world is going to think. I feel this and I am going to speak it out.
And sometimes, not sometimes, actually all the time, we need to trust our own self. If we believe in ourselves, our talent, our, capacity, then there is no one who can bring us down. There is no one who can make us lack confidence, because we need to feel that, okay, I have what it has, I have it in me that I can do this. Okay, I have what it takes to do this. If we ourselves don't trust ourselves, if we ourselves, don't think that we can do something, then no one can help us. We have to help ourselves first to help someone else, to let someone else help us. If we only don't want to help ourselves, no one can help us.
When you said the fact that we have to trust ourselves, just takes me back to the time when I took part in our school's debate competition.
Yeah.
I remember we had to memorize a 4-minute script speech to speak in front of all the dignitaries. And gosh, the day before, actually our half-yearly exam had just gotten over. We had a 3-day break. One day, of course, your exam just got over.
Yeah.
You're taking a little bit of a relaxed mode on. The second day, I made the script. And of course, making a 4-minute long script for such a huge debate competition.
It takes a long time.
Takes a very long time. The third day, it was Raksha Bandhan. All my brothers were visiting me. I was visiting them. And amidst all of that, I had to prepare for their debate. So amidst all of the celebrations, I had to, of course, prepare. Because as wrong as it might sound, it was my reputation on the line. Because the entire school would be listening to me the next day. So I remember practicing. I had like several paragraphs. I was trying to memorize it. And, sometimes I had to memorize the entire thing. Last paragraph, I'd mess up.
Right.
So, that irritation you feel within yourself, you completely lose your confidence. What is this? I can't do it in front of my mother. How am I going to do it in front of
so many
500, 700 people? But that night, my dad was out of station. So I called him up. I was crying practically. I was like, I can't do this. And then he was like, let's do one thing. You develop this attitude within yourself that I am just going to go there. I am going to speak. If I fumble, it doesn't matter. Let them judge me. Let them judge. Whatever she is saying all of this, it doesn't matter. I got selected for the final round out of 300 people that participated. I got selected for the final round, and that in itself is a big deal.
Definitely.
Of course. So the other day, I just went with that attitude. No matter what happens, I am just going to be proud of myself. So I went on the days. I spoke with full flow, and surprisingly, I didn't mess up, and I ended right on time, exactly on 4 minutes. And the speech was good and everything. Everyone, they thankfully had the opinion that I did very well. But then when the result day, it kept coming closer, it's like, am I going to win? Am I going to not win? And then, again, that self-doubt, was I good enough? And then, the day my teacher told me, okay, you've got an award, I was like, okay, this is going to be my attitude for every competition that I take part in. Let people judge me. I will just go there, speak my mind out.
Definitely.
And just come back. And you never know, that is what might lead to success.
Your story reminds me of an instance I had. So basically last year, I think, there was this interview that was going on, okay? And it was about some editorial magazine. I've never done it before. I've always been known for public speaking. I've always done public speaking at school, even you know that.
Of course.
Never done writing, never done articles, never led a team in a school. I've led teams for public speaking, but for editorial, something that I haven't even done. But then the thing is, I thought to myself, why not try something out of the box? Okay. And I went to that interview.
But I'm pretty sure people might have judged you for that.
Definitely. That's the thing. When I went there, there were just lines of people who have done editorial before. And then they give me that look. You're doing editorial? Don't you speak? This is not for you. And the moment they said that, I felt a bit disheartened at first. But then when I went to the interview, so basically there were a few people who went in front of me and I could hear whatever they said because it was happening in front of me. And then slowly, ironic enough, it kind of boosted my confidence. Okay, and I thought, this is an interview. I can do this because what is there that I can't do? And then I went there, I did the interview. I got the rank 1 out of all those interviews. So then I thought to myself, I did it. And I did it when people thought I couldn't do it. They thought that she is made for public speaking. She is not made for editorial. Managing a magazine takes a lot of big deal it is. But then the thing is, I did it, and I felt so nice that there were so many people who have just done editorial in their whole life, but I still could do it, and I made it. So, this just shows that you can try so many things out of the box. You can try so many things, and you shouldn't let other people judge you for it.
Exactly. And sometimes, no matter how little or no matter how big of a thing that you do, if it boosts your morale, your self-confidence, if it develops you as a person, you should just go ahead and do it, irrespective
Definitely.
of what people are going to think. Because, come on, let's be honest. Whatever you do, people are going to judge you.
Exactly.
If you sit in a certain way, people are going to judge you.
You wear a certain thing, people are going to judge you.
But that does not mean that you're going to give up your comfortable way of sitting, your own fashion sense. Like, these are some of the basics, let alone the professional side of it. But see, this is what we're trying to say. Express your views. People will judge. We're not saying that people won't judge. Yes, there might be 10 people that might support you, that might tell you that, we believe in you. Go ahead, do this. But if there are 10 people that support you, there might be 200 people that you don't know who might try to pull you down. But your focus should be focusing on yourself, developing yourself, and only giving attention to those 10 people that believe in you. And the 200 people, they will exist. So just let them be.
Exactly. Just like she said, there are always going to be people who look down on you. But at the same time, you have yourself. You have people who love you. You have people who support you. Don't think of those 200, 300 people who don't like you, who want to bring you down. At the end of the day, you should not let anything change who you are. You are special and you are your own unique self. Nothing should change that about you. No one's opinions, no one's different perspectives. You have your own and stick to that. So here we come to an end of our discussion.
For more such content, do tune in into our next podcast. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and we hope to see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.